What's up guys, welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Inhabiting physical forms provided a significant advantage for the phantoms. It allowed them to claim the name associated with the body they adopted. As semi-spiritual entities, their inherent instability was mitigated by taking on a physical body and name, establishing a clear, unbreakable sense of self. The knowledge influx during the transition made them valuable pawns in war, even for those ranked as lowly privates.
Mr. Amari, I'm not certain urgency is necessary. Our plan is proceeding smoothly. We've thoroughly assessed the planet's war potential, and there are few who could pose a threat to us.
Advised David Reagan, host to a general class phantom, nearly as potent as potential demon lords. Having completed his physical manifestation like Amari, Reagan boasted an EP exceeding 600,000, making him a formidable opponent for Kondu. Li Jinlong protested beside them.
Why do I need to remind you repeatedly? We still have Xianhua, the Holy Fist, on our side. In my recollections, that girl could easily defeat our staff officers.
Referring to upper-middle ranked phantoms as staff officers, these individuals held leadership roles overseeing regiments and played a crucial role in the invasion. In other realms, they would be as powerful as demon lord seeds. Losing any of them would significantly impact their operations. While Li's concern was valid, David chuckled.
No need to worry. Pulcinella has been dispatched to handle her. Xianhua poses no threat to us.
Li found the revelation surprising but smirked in response. Pulcinella, the Mad Priest, humanity's great hope, had embarked on a global journey to investigate a vision. Unfortunately, he engaged in a fierce battle with the Yoma, ultimately defeated and taken over. A new martial-level phantom, akin to Amari Masahiko, now ruled. The tragedy was complete.
Really? I was planning to handle that myself. Seems I was too slow. Killing her would be simple, but it might irreparably damage her. Pulcinella likely won't encounter any issues.
Though arrogant, David didn't dispute the assessment. The humans in this world were feeble, and someone as exceptionally powerful as Xianhua would make an adequate vessel for Kornu, their supreme leader. People shared a common perception, leading them to hesitate in assigning the task to their troops. Being phantoms, they possessed overwhelming strength against humans, making any confrontation inherently unfair. Yet, handling unfamiliar physical bodies presented its own challenges. In this regard, the responsibility fell on Kornu's direct aides, whose skills operated on an entirely different level. David found amusement in the situation, convinced that Xianhua's defeat was imminent. Naturally, there was a contingency plan. Li proposed.
If Kornu prefers a different gender, we'll find a replacement. And I'll take control of Xianhua. I'm curious about the man who originally owned this body. Seems he had a fascination with her.
Amused, David responded.
Quite a narrow-minded remark. I doubt Kornu cares about gender. Dismiss such thoughts from your mind.
Li and David exchanged half-joking banter, treating the issue as if it were already resolved. However, Amari couldn't rid himself of his anxieties. While satisfied with the current progress, he wasn't ready to declare success and relax. The invasion plans were well underway, with 4 generals and 2 marshals under Kornu having completed their manifestations. The expansion of the Underworld Gate progressed steadily, and preparations were in motion for Kornu's future vessel. Pulcinella and the other 2 generals worked diligently, suggesting the world was inevitably headed towards its demise. Manifesting Kornu remained the only significant task.
All seems in order. There's no room for a comeback. I'm certain I haven't missed anything.
Despite a thorough analysis suggesting no remaining issues, Amari couldn't shake his anxiety. The unexpected arrival of someone like Velgrynd seemed nearly impossible.
Human resistance here isn't worth our attention,
he declared, brushing off his concerns.
But that doesn't mean we can ease up. The finishing touches remain, and I need everyone fully committed.
Following the Imperial Conference, Velgrynd headed straight for the palace's Grand Library. The expansive level, laden with countless volumes, was appropriately labeled a library. Velgrynd found herself there due to lingering questions from the conference, questions about the names of specific countries and individuals. Consider the sacred Arcean Empire, sounding oddly familiar to the Kingdom of Archa she had once overseen. Then there was the United States of Azalea and its current leader, George Hayes, a name that resonated with someone Velgrynd had encountered in a different timeline. According to her recollection, George's father, Laurent Hayes, possessed a soul fragment from Rudra. Velgrynd had accompanied him from his youth to his peaceful final days. This and various other details stirred her curiosity, prompting her to delve into research. If all these seemingly familiar pieces of information belonged to the same timeline, one could conclude that these nations and individuals were indeed the counterparts of those Velgrynd was acquainted with. However, it was not uncommon to encounter different worlds bearing striking resemblances. While their origins and natural laws diverged, they inexplicably shared these remarkably similar names. Considering this, Velgrynd thought it wise to explore the history of this world a bit. Beginning with the establishment of the sacred Arcean Empire, her inquiries confirmed the existence of a past kingdom of Archa on this planet. The names of its rulers and court officials also sounded familiar, affirming that the legacy of the Archa she knew persisted in this world. Turning her attention to George Hayes.
As I suspected. His father is Laurent Hayes, the president from 7 terms ago. There's no doubt about it. So little George managed to become president too, huh?
Recalling George, the young man who deeply admired his father, Velgrynd smiled. He often spoke of aspiring to be a great president, just like his dear old dad. Laurent had peacefully passed away at 62. George had been 27 at the time and now 52. This indicated that Velgrynd's leap had landed her in the same world as before, 25 years later. Presumably, Akira Sakura had been alive a quarter of a century ago as well, meaning 2 distinct individuals possessed parts of Rudra's soul simultaneously. A rare occurrence, but considering the strong reactions of the soul fragments before the death of their hosts, it couldn't be dismissed as impossible. Hence, Velgrynd visited the library to ensure these names weren't mere coincidences. In a previous instance, Laurent Hayes had faced a perilous attack from a group of thugs, teetering on the brink of death. At that crucial moment, Velgrynd intervened, saving his life and initiating the beginning of their relationship. While this memory held a special place for her, Velgrynd didn't linger on it for too long, choosing to resume her research.
I believe George had a young son as well.
Recalling the moment she had bestowed blessings upon the newborn, Velgrynd consulted the family tree, confirming that Emile Hayes was indeed the correct name, aligning perfectly with her recollection. Satisfied, she nodded to herself, only to spot an anomaly in the family records.
Hold on. Am I the reason he married late? That's absurd.
To Velgrynd, this was nothing short of defamation. The biography she perused claimed that Laurent Hayes was persistently accompanied by a mysterious, beautiful woman, which, though not far from reality, differed in Velgrynd's perception. She hardly considered herself a sinister presence in his life and believed she had every right to protest. Despite giving Laurent the freedom to love whomever he pleased, it was undoubtedly challenging for a woman to approach someone constantly surrounded by a supermodel-class companion. In essence, Velgrynd was a significant factor in Laurent's late marriage.
I don't know who penned this, but I wish I could send them a letter.
However, the author had long since passed away, which, perhaps, turned out to be fortunate for them. Having concluded her time at the library, Velgrynd continued to make the most of her free time. Unimpeded, as Akira Sakura, with his instincts guiding him, allowed her considerable freedom within the palace. Not everyone welcomed her presence warmly, though. While military officers who recognized her gave her ample latitude, the palace ladies were less accommodating. Among them was the Empress, Akira Sakura's wife.
It's quite repulsive, don't you think?
She remarked during their initial encounter.
A woman getting so close to His Majesty when we don't even know where she came from.
At the age of 50, she hailed from noble lineage, the daughter of a prestigious prince. In a world where medicine and sorcery had advanced, allowing the average lifespan to reach around 60, the Empress remained remarkably active. However, Velgrynd viewed her more like an adorable puppy. Having lived alongside Rudra in various forms over many years, individuals like the Empress were anything but unfamiliar to Velgrynd.
Oh, come now. That cute face of yours will lose its charm if you keep scowling all day. Surely, Akira Sakura would prefer you to be beautiful for him always, wouldn't he?
Refusing to comply, Velgrynd went a step further, raising her hand to gently stroke the Empress's hair. The act occurred swiftly, leaving the Empress no chance to escape. Yet, the surprise didn't end there. Before Velgrynd's eyes, the Empress's skin underwent a transformation, regaining a youthful, glossy appearance.
See? Now you look much prettier. But maintenance is crucial for things like this. I'll teach you some breathing techniques for spiritual balance, so make sure to practice them, all right?
Ha!
The Empress was rendered speechless, struggling to find the right words. The lady attendants stared wide-eyed, having just witnessed the Empress reclaim the beauty of her past. It was a sight that left anyone equally astonished.
It can't be. Can you reverse time?
Velgrynd chuckled.
No, not turning back time. I merely energized her skin cells to enhance her appearance. She hasn't transformed into a different species, and she's still as mortal as ever.
Explaining that everyone had a limited lifespan, Velgrynd clarified that using spiritual energy to rejuvenate skin cells wouldn't extend the Empress's life. However, Velgrynd wasn't entirely accurate. While it might have seemed inconsequential to her, she had, in fact, prolonged the Empress's life. With a healthier body, capable of resisting most illnesses, improved digestion, and nearly perfect anti-aging traits, the Empress could potentially enjoy more than double her expected lifespan. If she maintained the breathing methods Velgrynd taught her, she could maximize those additional years.
I may have misjudged you, Ryu.
Quick to embrace the unexpected gift, the Empress instantly became a Velgrynd enthusiast, a sentiment echoed by her attendants.
Count me in.
Yes, me too.
Absolutely. Please teach me this breathing technique as well.
None of them were about to turn down the opportunity for some free youth. Velgrynd had spent a few days immersing herself in this world, instructing the palace ladies on meditation, savoring high tea, and embracing an elegant lifestyle. In contrast, the military was bustling with activity. Negotiations with the administrations of other nations were progressing at a sluggish pace. The prospects of organizing an international summit seemed distant, and with no noteworthy advancements, Akira Sakura hadn't hosted any new imperial conferences. Purposeless meetings only consumed time. It made more sense for them to channel their efforts into constructive endeavors. Akira Sakura concurred with this notion, and Velgrynd had no objections. However, she felt a growing dissatisfaction. Time was slipping away, and the Yoma were likely intensifying their preparations. If they didn't expedite matters, grappling with the logistics of a summit would be the least of their concerns. Velgrynd might be compelled to take center stage and confront the threat before humanity could unite for its defense.
Well, if it comes to that, and I have to chase away the phantoms, it won't put an end to this war.
This notion weighed heavily on Velgrynd. The situation would unnecessarily complicate, prompting her to extend a helping hand. Despite her reservations, she genuinely enjoyed being of assistance.
Are the negotiations making progress?
Entering the Foreign Ministry's intelligence office without invitation, Velgrynd posed the question. Though it was just past noon, the atmosphere appeared chaotic, and her abrupt entrance did nothing to appease the bustling bureaucrats. Not that she cared, of course.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Jared Bressler, Chad Vota, Chris Guzman, Havox, Speed Saber, Curtis Loban, Judah Herrera, Justa Guy, Miss L.W. Hernandez, Zach Rossan, Jarius Ladek, Stone Larone, Ray Perez, Jason Martin, Donald Williams, Moab A, Day of Light, John M, John Charles, Godman Gaming, Markithian Tidwell, Adrian, Kumo, Sanketh Chelu, T. Bush, John L, Edgar Fuentes, JV, Dirty Old Hobo, Thomas, Jay, Christ, Juan Ignacio, Joshua Cousins, Jose Hernandez, Vethelny, Lunel Scarlett, Khaled, Christian Deshazer, Cal Robs, Divine C. Harris, Panda Cats, DeAndre Nance, Monty Boy 98, D-Man, Ruben, Yuki Iki, Gray, Chris Jr., Isaac, Koala King 93, Paul DeGrassi, Little 95, Quilly Buckner, Zephyros, Alver, Normal Defate, Joshua Andrade, L, Gary Miles, Dragon Spawn 666, J. Rule, Liron Sangkap, Lucas Gay, Jason Martin, Echo Ski, Foolish Prophets, Ethan Madison, Sky T, Diego Ginoza, Andre Hamilton, Jason Torres, Sesh, Guy Ansley, Emperor WSA, Mika Espinosa, George Hage, Pratik Bandari, Arod Dare, Faiz Mansour, Jackson Early, Smexy, Carl Stephen Bernadal, Gareth Hashimoto, Steven Madison, Homelike Drop, Vasto Lord, Martin Ramos, Marl Barsha, Hansel Ortega, Karam Faraj, Efrain Hernandez, Luca Gaming WTF, William Locke, Jordan Mersha, Arian Booker, Kamal Luke, Steven, Mose Chaudhary, Spencer Candila, Ian Sikibuyol, Potate, Thanakorn Lee Sawat, Lamar. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.